Hello everyone and welcome to the Edain Mod. Today we're playing as Angmar, because why not? Now, one thing about Angmar is people, similar to how people say about the Misty Mountains in Age of the Ring, people say that Angmar is kind of the hate faction that everyone hates in Edain. And to be fair, I can understand why people would have that mentality around this faction.
You'll do as you're told.
Because of the way, because of all their powers, they are very anti-player. Because you get a obelisk that weakens enemy units. You have an ability that only really works against players, the Blight. You've got Fell Wind, which locks enemies in place. You've got the Frozen Wind, which keeps you've got the Frozen Waste even, which can lock enemies in an area with the speed reduction. Your axe throwers are really good at dealing damage. And yeah, there is a lot about Angmar that people just don't enjoy because of what they can do. I know. Oh, when we went up against Isengard, okay, we could actually be in a bit of trouble here. Because there's one thing that Isengard does better than any other faction, and that is siege spam. But one thing we are in an advantage of is that we're going pikeman spam. Going pikeman is the perfect way to survive against Angmar, Isengard even. Going pikeman is a good way to counter a Isengard because they like to spam wargs and they like to spam siege, and they can do both of those things. Were they just using their ability on themselves? Is that what I just saw? They're using the hunter arrow on themselves. That's weird. Okay, moving on. Now, Hillman villagers, they also increase the damage of these Hillmen. So obviously in the early game, if any Angmar gets a lot of these Hillman villagers up, or the Orc camps, because that increases the power of the Gundabad Orcs, but to be fair, these are probably more annoying units.
We finished that one.
Having to deal with Hillmen is a big problem, and those axe throwers are probably the most damaging tier 1 range units in the game, by a very substantial margin. Also because the more you kill, the more powerful they become, and the more they are around others, they get more armor. So basically, complete horde tactics works really well with Angmar in the early game. Full Hillman, full everything, and then there's just the Gundabad Orcs that kind of just sit there doing nothing. But they did give the Gundabad Orcs a reason to exist, with some upgrades you can get to them, and they also have fast regeneration, which is a important thing at times. It is important to have that extra regeneration. Get some more pikemen for the cavalry to come. Up front, run away. That's you can the Thrall Master. If there's anything I do well, I make sure I don't let my Thrall Masters die. Another thing these axe throwers do, they do really good damage against towers. So if you're trying to defend yourself with these little towers, you're not going to do very much against these axe throwers. Let's get a Dark Iron Forge. Now, I personally am not a person that hates Angmar at all, actually, because I predominantly played Edain back before they actually knew how to make siege. So the thing you could do is just play on any castle map and playing as Angmar, close the gates, and they would never come in. They would never have a way of coming in because they can't open the gate. They didn't have access to siege. You'll just be permanently safe. Now, I'm not on a castle start, so I'm probably not going to face against a siege spam, but I am very certain that the siege spam is still a thing. So we're going to send that into the Dark Iron Forge first for economy's sake. Put an obelisk down here just for vision, and that way we can also gauge if they have any siege. And let's keep building more Hillman camps, because that's what these Hillman camps give us. They give us these tribute carts, which are the only way for upgrading our buildings, which, as you can imagine, is very important. And we'll go for the settlers tools first, because obviously we've got more settlements to work with, and so it makes sense. It seems like they're spamming Isengard scouts, which is not going to save them. With a horde like we have now, there should be very little that can deal with us. We've got a nice selection of pikemen and archers, or ranged units. Any strong defense can actually really counter this strategy. Because I say a strong defense can counter the strategy. Normally it doesn't work. Because again, the axe throwers do really well against defensive buildings. We need to build a pantry. The cave troll, I can deal with that.
No back talk, you'll do as you're told. Battle is joy. Pay attention.
Then focus a single unit. And there we go, trolls down. That was fast. That was really fast. That was really fast. I like that. I like doing that a lot. I liked that a lot. And yeah, Angmar's really good at power creeping in the early game. The whole strategy is just power creep. And they do it really, really well. At some point, obviously, that's not going to work. You're going to need to go for your stronger troops in the late game. But in the early game, you definitely have the right, even, to just go for all your good stuff in the earlier stages, because you can, and it works. Gonna put a tower down there, and yet there we go, Wild Riders. That's what I was expecting to see from dear old Isengard. Once we get those tribute carts put in, we'll start making some money. And we'll just cut through these guys like a knife through hot butter. Or a hot knife through butter, even. Both things make sense, but obviously the hot knife through butter is the only one that actually is said. Yeah, what the hell? They use their hunting arrows on themselves. I've never seen an Isengard player do that before. Ever.
Get back to work or you'll be thrown to the wolves.
That is new to me, and I don't like it because that makes Isengard weak. Granted, that's only with their scout unit, but still, that's a big problem. That's a big exploitable problem. Oh, there we go, Isengard units. Urukai units even, not Isengard units. This is where our spam is going to start falling off. This is where it's ride or die for us. I'm going to get frozen land. So they can't run away. Because frozen land gives us no buffs, it's all of the thing. And yep, scouts are all that's left. They can't escape. They have to run and die. And yet they're building pikemen, so yeah, this Isengard is playing very suboptimally. They've built none of the units that are good against us because I've made pikemen. So them going cavalry was the worst decision they can make. I'm going to get another smelter. I'm going to go full on into this strategy until it kills me. I could take the settlement as well. In fact, I will. I'm going to push my luck. Push my luck and take away another building from them. And the obelisk is just coming back, so it's the perfect time to position it, to deploy it as I arrive. Yeah, there's walking into my base and dying. That's a shame. It might just be this map they're doing this on, but yeah, if it's not because it's this map, that's a problem. This is a problem for the Isengard AI. I've seen Isengard AI spam siege to near death before, so seeing them do this is actually kind of depressing. They're doing very poorly. Oh yeah, it's also because half their army is focusing down a troll, which they can't kill because they sent their pikes into the wrong position. Which is always a nice, funny thing to think about. Build a hillman village.
They're bombarding us.
Yeah, look at that. Building crossbowmen. And
You'll build for the Iron Crown.
not a lot of smart decisions on their part, I must say. Not a lot of smart decisions on the AI.
Our new building is ready.
Serve the Witch King now.
Let's get Waldart into the fray. Keep making a few more thralls. Get workers' tools. So we have more money coming in. Let's get Dragon as well. And now, when the tide is turned and the advantage is ours, let us change our course and move in. And let's also get Helagwin, in fact. Because Helagwin is a really good hero, but actually got pushed into the... she got pushed into this building because she was too strong. Oh my god, my voice is broke. I think it's time for me to say... Oh god. Get Draughlin into the thick of the fight.
I can bring thralls to command.
I bring filthy spearmen from the hills. Yeah, those wargs are just going to try and run in, but they'll die.
Work, or it's the thrall.
Yeah, we've got 2 tier 2 buildings, tier 3 buildings now, so now we're making the most out of our money. Good. That's alerts that just crippled my poor little Draughlin. And that's Sharky running into pikemen. I must say, this AI is definitely putting everything into this. But it's now starting to show some backbone. Too bad it's about to kill them. It took them too long to finally start pulling out all the stops. And I'm afraid I've just killed Lurtz with Holdar.
Pay attention, scum.
Come from Master Live.
I am the fist of Angmar.
Keep away from their base, that's either way you die.
This way. I will lead.
Summon some of your hounds, Draughlin. We've got 3,000 in the bank, let's spend some of it. Helagwin, come on out.
Speak with the Witch King's voice.
You slacking. I have stone and iron to use for Angmar.
Who shall I bring to our
We had
banner?
orders.
Oh.
Our forces are under attack.
Draughlin, you're too weak for this.
Stay in your ranks. Walks are dangerous. Go forward. Make ready for war.
Hold on the other side, on the other hand, is perfect for this. Yep, whenever he attacks, he makes our thralls all the stronger. Those are blood wargs. Those are wargs that have been powered up so that they heal when they deal damage.
I speak with the Witch King's voice.
I will drive them back. Spotted the enemy's camp.
That's a berserker. I want to kill that off with Draughlin. Oh, Draughlin, you almost did it. You're not going to die because Adam's not focusing yet. I know you will die. You will die. And he will gain levels, but he will then also die. But his levels won't come back, yours will. Let's get the Witch King since we have 4,000 in the bank. Oh!
We search for the enemy.
Not the right move, by the way. Not the right move to do that. Got Helagwin just shooting down these guys slowly but surely. Have a little bit of help for her.
I can bring thralls to command. They're attacking our mill. From the hills.
I bring filthy spearmen from the hills. More blood wargs, that's the problem. Throw down an obelisk to see if I can throw off their scent.
He will overthrow the west.
Oh, they've seen me. One hold our hit, and then look at that extra aura.
I bathe in their blood.
Yeah, I tried to make the Wild Riders work in a...
I know the hill.
and I tried to make a video before with Isengard with just Wildmen and Wild Riders. Unfortunately, the game crashed halfway through. I was doing well. I won't deny I was doing well. It's just it's not as good as going all Urukai. Going all Urukai is my favourite thing to do with Isengard. Same with Angmar, going full Angmar, but at the same time, going full Hillman is just as fun. You see these filthy Hillmen doing better than Urukai. But to be fair, these Urukai are unupgraded, and these Hillmen are fully decked out. Thanks to Holdar and having these Hillman villagers on the field. Although we still can't push any further because we don't have quite enough pushing power to win. I'm going to get the Turncoats of Arnor.
The enemy is near.
I'm going to destroy this troll there since the AI failed to do it. That's a level 5 troll, by the way.
I come to command.
Have Draughlin come in. Make sure he comes back out again. That troll's not coming back out.
Our camp is under attack.
There's the Witch King in all his glory. Get the rest of the Panthers since we can. And yeah, being in this position as Angmar is what you want to be doing. You want to have full map control over your enemy. If you can do that, you're pretty much guaranteed to win. If the AI can't stop you from doing what you're doing, then then unfortunately they've doomed you to success.
Who shall I bring for a banner? These barbarians know how to throw steel.
Make ready for war.
They've doomed you to success. Build 2 towers for protection, and then build a
We
smelter.
don't have enough resources.
Helter smelter,
Battle is joy.
which can good old AoE damage.
Stay in the ranks.
Rather than some more pounds.
Pick it up, you layabouts.
Pick it up, you layabouts.
Get back to
Our
work,
new
or you'll be
building
thrown
is
to the
complete.
wolves. Work,
I
or it's
come
the
to
thrall
command.
hordes for you.
I can bring thralls to
We've
command.
seen the
I
enemy.
These barbarians know how to throw steel.
Get ready for war. We've spotted the enemy. Get back to work. The fighting has begun. Enough standing around. Time to move.
I speak with the Witch King's voice.
Oh, look at this poor warg running into pikes.
No back talk, worms.
Honor is for the weak.
Go on, Waldar. Now every time you hit, you're giving the thralls even more power.
Remove them.
Oh, Witch King has killed a whole unit with a boot. I think. I saw a whole unit arrive, show up and then die. So I think they got booped by the Witch King.
You layabouts.
These are level 5 axe throwers, by the way. They've lived that long, they've got to the stats of level 5. And whatever was attacking there is now dead. Drauglin's now level 10. Throw out his swerving crescents. Get out Zafragor. Get out some more Thrall Masters. Didn't even need to summon any units from Kharndoom. That was that good.
Some thralls would make this easier.
I think I summoned that unit of Thralls too late yet. The Thrall Master dies before the Thralls actually get summoned, and they don't get summoned. That's what they changed from the base game. Now the Thrall Master would turn to full health if he were to die before his Thralls were summoned. It's a way of
You'll build for the
sneaking
Iron Crown.
at your units without the enemy to notice. But yeah, I think that's GG. The enemy is dying to a horde of Hillmen. Drauglin's dead. Oh no. Whatever will I do?
I'm giving the orders around here.
I'll get Zafragor.
I bathe in their blood.
He'll show me, boss. Fill out the Witch King again. Oh no, I'm using the bloody Life Drinker sword, so he's not doing any damage to units. Hold on, I don't know what this does to you, so I'm gonna have to get the Witch King out actually. He's dying to these guys because he's not been swinging at them with his mace. What does it do to Boulder? Gain improved attributes for a short time. So this becomes a bigger boy, okay.
The Iron Crown calls.
The Iron Crown calls. I'm glad they brought back the original Mornemont quotes. I definitely prefer the original the more Lemire quotes even to other quotes he had before. Which I actually don't think he had any other quotes before. I think those are always his quotes. Oh yeah, and these guys got to level 2, so they got to stay forever. Good old turncoats. Yep, that's the end of this poor, foolish AI. Unless they built another Wildman lair somewhere. Doesn't look like it. Don't get in my way.
I am the Fist of Angmar.
There we go.
Shall kneel before the Iron Crown.
They fall before the Iron Crown. And look at that. We did that all without making a single unit of Kharndoom troops. Last time we built pretty much nothing but Kharndoom. And this time it was a completely different story. In less than 20 minutes as well. That is what I call a good victory. I hope you've all enjoyed today's stream. 3.5 hours. I am knackered. I am going to call it a day now. I hope you've all enjoyed. I'm going to get myself some food and some drink. And I will see you all next week. Hope you've all enjoyed. I'll see you next time.